Thank you. And I mean that. Estoy muy agradecida. And I mean that. Truth be told, when I got the email informing me that was going to be tonight's Luminaria award, it was a late night, I think it was like a Wednesday or something like that. I'm pretty sure I was watching Handmaid's Tale. No coincidence that I was watching Handmaid's Tale. Olivia. Okay? And I saw the email and I was like, all right, so they're asking for like sponsorship money. That's all right. I got you, Cynthia. Every time, girl. I got you. I'm gonna send that check in this year, girl. And then 15 seconds went by and I was watching Handmaid's Tale and I was like, you know what? The subject line read nomination. Let me read that one more time. And when I reread it, I had 3 thoughts. I don't know which one came first. I think you might guess which one came first. I think the first thought was this. I was like, damn, Denise, you're getting old, girl. Because at a certain age group, you have to be in, am I right? To start getting these awards. Hey, estamos con amigos, right? Entre amigos, alright? So I wanted to be candid about that. And the second thought was this, that I was so humbled that a group of women, this group of women that I admired, this group of chingonas, sat in a room, and I mean that, because I've been dinner chair, as y'all will learn during this speech. Not once, but twice, porque me gusta la mala vida, as they say. Right? So I know what it's like to be in that room as a dinner chair for LLBA, vetting the women that you think are worthy of these awards. The Luminaria, Abriendo Caminos, etc. There's a whole lot of conversations that I had. And so I was so humbled that through those conversations, my name still stood out to them. And I knew that. From being humble, because I have the privy of being intimately familiar of what it's about, right? And thirdly, and this is taking off my LLBA hat, and frankly a lot of hats, to try to be very objective in what I'm about to say, I felt, it wasn't even a thought, it was this feeling of pride that they would choose one of their own to be the Luminaria tonight. And what do I mean by that? Not just the fact that I am a past president of this wonderful organization, Latina Lawyers Bar Association, not just the fact that I'm obviously a past board member, past dinner chair, one of the founding members of the Young Lawyers Committee, Lindsay Santos, looking at you, girl, you're right there with me. But the direct correlation there regarding one of their own, one of their products, if you will, is that I was a 2-time recipient of the scholarship. And I was a bar stipend recipient as well. And so the women that we just saw earlier today, the scholarship recipients, my story is no different from theirs. We all share this beautiful history, if you will, of our beautiful Latino roots and vibrant cultures, of being Mexican, Guatemaltecos, Salvadoreños, Puerto Ricanos, Cubanos, Lourdes, looking at you, girl, right now. Hondureños, you fill in the blank, and I'm gonna add a little Sinaloenses, Chihuahuenses, because I do that. beautiful cultures of ours that are worthy of this celebration, right? And one thing that I really appreciate, I think that's the highlight of tonight, it's not just the honorees. I mean, I'm excited to hear about the stories of the other honorees that we're going to be speaking tonight. But what we'll really hear about tonight is the scholarship recipients, because that's what this organization is about. Right. Making sure that we provide scholarship recipients the community, but dare I say more importantly, the financial backing. Right. Because unlike a lot of other law school students of color, their stories hit a little differently. Their backgrounds hit a little differently. I remember being questioned while I was working 35 hours a week my first semester as a law school student. And I was like, well, my dad passed away 10 months ago. You're asking the same question to the other white student? Now, I'm not trying to get political or anything, folks, but it's the reality of what students of color have to face. Whether it's in law school, college, medical school, you name it, it's different backgrounds, different life experiences. And so Latina Lawyers Bar Association, I thank you, because not only did you give me a little bit of breathing room when you gave me those scholarships, I'd argue that you gave me a lifeline. Thank you for that. And for those reasons, and I know when I say it, my Juris Doctorate is as much as yours as it is mine. And I hope that now, as a 13-year practicing attorney, now I'm showing my ears, concealer here, y'all. As a 13-year practicing attorney, a woman who owns her own law firm, almost 2 years in the making, who's in a very fortunate position to get to choose the cases that she decides to take on. A woman who represents the family of an unarmed Latino who was unjustifiably killed by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. A woman who gets to represent the mother of a 20-year-old girl who at the time of booking said to the custody staff, I'm suicidal, I want to kill myself, and then 5 days later, commits suicide on the camera. A woman who gets to represent the family of a father whose transgendered female daughter gets killed because she is housed in a 10 by 10 foot cell with a convicted sex offender. I would hope that you are happy on your return on your investment. Thank you, LLBA. And they only gave me 3 minutes, pero soy bien platicadora. Yeah. No, Mildred, no, whatever. But I have 2 more, I guess, sections, if you will, of speech to get to. But one thing I wanted to make sure I commented on was the fact that the LLBA board themselves, so that's actually their fault. They asked me to talk about their theme of the night, right? The theme is take a risk. And I think I know a little bit about that, right? So, January 3rd, 2022, I hung my shingle. It took a long time to get there. I've been practicing law for 13 years. At that point, when I finally decided to hang my shingle, it was 10 years. But como estamos entre amigos, we're amongst close friends, I'd like to say, right? Si somos entre amigos. And be honest with y'all. For 3 whole years before I hung that shingle, every single day, I thought about opening my own firm. And I didn't do anything about it. One of my favorite Steve Jobs quotes is this. It's something to the effect that obviously I'm shooting with my head, if you will. But it's every single morning you're supposed to wake up and you're supposed to look in the mirror and you're supposed to ask yourself, if today is the last day of your life, what you're about to do that day, are you happy about it? And when the answer is no, too many days in a row, I'm not exactly sure how many days in a row that is, but it's too many days in a row for you, you should do something about that. And my answer, como estamos entre amigos, right? My answer to that question was no for 3 years, y'all. Right? But I think that kind of goes back to our beautiful Latino culture, but in a good way, right? Because siempre estamos agradecidos. We're always thankful for somebody who lends us a hand during trying times, right? We're happy about our station in life. Like, man, I got it good right now. And so part of taking that risk was this, realizing that perhaps me being loyal to one thing and one person, one entity too much was becoming disloyal to myself, right? That perhaps the fact that I didn't want to repeat yesterday and I wanted to keep evolving was a good thing for myself. And part of taking that risk, it was very difficult, right? I think I was told a couple of things I want to make sure I share, especially for folks here, particularly attorneys that are looking at you, those who have the entrepreneurial spirit. I was definitely, posed a couple questions. For example, I think it was, be respectfully, I don't think you realize how difficult it's going to be for you to get cases. But no, it wasn't. At all. Knock on wood. Isidro, knock on wood right now. My husband. I was also told, and this is probably, again, going back to the whole Latino hood, that you wanted to be the Denise show. And I remember when I heard that, I felt so bad about myself. Like, shit, I do want to be the Denise show. Who am I? Like, that's so messed up. I am so selfish, I am conceited, blah, 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 right? And that thought only lasted about 3 seconds. Until I was like, well, you know what? The Denise show sounds pretty damn good to me. And I knew that. And then that translates to whatever show y'all want to put on. And so I'm going to end at this point with giving thanks, of course, because if not, I will be roasted tonight when I went to my hotel room. I was always going to give thanks. I'm going to start by giving thanks to every single person who is here. I brought a rancho, y'all. Literally, like, arguably, a third of this whole gala is me. Okay. I have 4 tables that are here with me tonight. And they are here with me. Don't misunderstand that. I have my table of the sisters in the law group, right? With Teresa D, who I am not going to just mention. Teresa, you have literally lit a fire in so many women of color who are attorneys to believe in themselves, and to start their own business because they have their own brand. Thank you, Teresa. I'm also going to my PS gang, Megan, Casey, Lakshmi. Y'all give me life every single day. Every other day when y'all are in trial. Thank you. Of course, my law school bestie gang, Kevin, Claudia, Edith, Lindsay. Geez Louise, I already mentioned Lindsay. My partner in the law, Christian. Iron sharpens iron. That's something that my wonderful postcard law clerk, Selena Estrada Villela, who's here with me today, told me about actually joining my law firm. She considered me an iron sharpens iron. Christian, you sharpen me every single day. I am so thankful for you, brother. My wonderful Theo, Nono, my Lupe, my prima, my best friend in the whole wide world, Sarah. Thank you for being here and for flying down here. My tias, Letty, Rosina, Terry, and Chiquis. So y'all think I'm a chingona just because I just kind of came out of the womb as a chingona? No. You have to grow up with chingonas around you to become a chingona. Alright? And of course, my siblings, Lalo, Jose, Liz, and their beautiful children who are here with us because to me, hey, who's counting? That $250 seat was worth it to me to have 5 children here with us today, ranging from the age of a little bit over a year to about 10 years old, give or take, because it was worth it. Because you know what? If you could see it, you could be it. And you don't have to be a lawyer. I don't care what you want to be. But there's a bunch of beautiful black, brown, you name it, faces here in front of you who are lawyers, dentists, doctors, congresspersons, etc. And you could be anything you want to be. Yeah. Okay? And lastly, because I'm going to finish up, it's only 3 minutes. I think I'm at 13 minutes right now. It's a big night. We don't know if this is going to happen again. And I'm going to give thanks finally to my parents. One who is here with me in spirit, Ophelia, who I'm going to give a lot of dedication to in just a bit. But one who's with me in spirit, my father, Lalo. And what's interesting is that on Monday, Monday's actually his 16th year anniversary of passing away. I couldn't go, I always go to the cemetery on his day of passing, give him his flowers, say a few prayers, maybe have a conversation. But I couldn't do that day because of the fact that I was engaged in trial. So yesterday, right before the cemetery closed, I made sure to get to the cemetery, the Resurrection Cemetery right there in Rosemead by East LA. And when I was buying him his flowers, I saw this beautiful San Judas. And I told the señora that was selling me the flowers, I was like, también ese San Judas lo quiero llevar. And that was his favorite saint. Saint Judas was his favorite saint. And I've heard about San Judas, Saint Judas, and I don't know what it was, but maybe I just wanted to talk to somebody, I don't know. But I asked her, I was like, oye señor, San Judas es el santo de qué? And she said, es el santo de los casos difíciles, which is a direct translation to he's the saint of difficult cases. And that was a nod from my dad in heaven, that although the trial that I had these past 4 days didn't go as planned, soy una abogada de los casos difíciles. I'm an attorney of cases that are difficult, of causes that are difficult, because you usually don't end up at trial if the case is difficult, right? And I wouldn't have it any other way, truly. And lastly, I want to make sure that I give my mother the credit she deserves. Ofelia, si te puedes poner a los pies, por favor, mujer. So anybody who really speaks Spanish, y'all would come to me on the dance floor and I'll translate this. Maybe. Or call me tomorrow or Sunday or Monday. But this is worth it to me. Mamá, hace 5 años también te dije, ponte a los pies cuando era presidenta de MAVA, no sé si te acuerdas. Y en esos momentos te di las gracias por hacerme la gran mujer que era. Pero ahora te quiero dar las gracias por todos los sacrificios que has hecho. Entiendo que tenías una vida que obviamente tenías 3, 4 hijos para que siempre teníamos una comida calientita, mis sopes, mi chile relleno, que siempre tenía mi abrigo para que no tenga frío, que tú los llevabas a la escuela y los recogías al tiempo de la escuela. Y por esos sacrificios y más, estoy en la posición que yo soy ahorita. Y como te dije hace 5 años, te doy las gracias por esos 16 años, llenando el espacio que mi papá dejó pues vacío cuando falleció, con el amor, apoyo y los consejos que necesitaba yo. Entonces ahora, esta noche, este premio es para ti. Gracias, mi amor.